Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to share with you some of my favorite Criterion releases of 2021. Now, of course, I wish I could have everything in the Criterion collection, but I don't at this point. But I do have a wish list that I work from most of the time of new titles that I'd like to explore, new films that I haven't seen before, and some old favorites. And I think this has a mix of both of those. These releases were all, from 2021. And these are 10 releases that are my favorites. And of course, everyone has their favorites. So let me know what your favorites of 2021 are in the comments below. I'd love to see what you picked up during the various sales. Of course, Barnes & Noble has a sale. Criterion often has a few flash sales, 24-hour flash sales usually during the year. So the first one I didn't really know that much about. It is a film called Smooth Talk, and with some great performances from Laura Dern and Treat Williams. Really amazing to see this one. And you can see too, Criterion does such a great job with extra features on the back here. I'm not going to read all these, but just to pick up on a couple of them. This one also happens to be spine number 1068. There's a new interview with the filmmaker. There's new conversations between Chopra and actors Treat Williams and Mary Kay Place. There's a couple of the earlier films by the director and many, many other special features. So this is one of my favorites of this year. It was a new discovery also. And it's a film from 1985. So that's Smooth Talk. The next one is a film that I don't really know anything about, but I was so intrigued by it, and I think really the cover art really drew me to it as well as the description of it. And it's a film called Afterlife. And there's the back of that one. Also, some special features on this one. This one is spine number 1089 right there. And I just love the description on the back of this one. If you could choose only one memory to hold on to for eternity, what would it be? That's the one question at the heart of this particular film. And so I'm excited to see this one. Again, these are some pickups. I have to kind of work my way through my watch list. And so I haven't had a chance to see this yet, but I'm really excited to watch it. And it is one of my favorites that I picked up. And again, a lot of it just has to do with the cover art and what I've read about it. So as you may know from the channel, I'm a big Martin Scorsese fan, and this one was on my list. This film was on Netflix, I think in 2019, and this is the Rolling Thunder Review, which is Scorsese's, it's billed here as a Bob Dylan story by Martin Scorsese, and I'm a big Scorsese fan, of course, too. This is a digipack, or a digibook, I don't know if you call it, I guess those are interchangeably, you could use those terms, and you can see the extra features on that one. This one is also spine number 1062. I think the digipack or the digibook is that it's all, you can kind of pull this out. It doesn't really open like a standard cover. Just look at the artwork on that as well. Really amazing to see that. So this is a release that I was really looking forward to, at the top of my list, and lots of restored footage. Of course, this is a Blu-ray. I pretty much prefer getting Blu-rays at this point in my collecting of Criterion and other labels. But so really excited about this one, and it's the Rolling Thunder Review, Martin Scorsese. This next one I've talked about before too, that I was really looking forward to, directed by Raoul Walsh. This is High Sierra with Ida Lupino and Humphrey Bogart, one of my favorite releases of the year for sure. And again, lots of extra features on this. This is spine number 1099. And this one has a Bogart here's looking at You Kid, a 1997 documentary aired on the South Bank Show. New interview and film with film and media historian Miriam J. Petty about actor Willie Best. The True Adventures of Raoul Walsh, a 2019 documentary by Marilyn Ann Ross. So a lot of extra features too, including documentaries and longer features too on some of these releases. So this one, again, really was looking forward to it. So I'm happy I picked it up this year. And another one I think that I've talked about on the channel before, but one of the films I saw when I was a kid, and that is The Incredible Shrinking Man. I was really excited about this release when I saw Criterion do the announcement for it, and so I waited for this one. It was at the top of my list, The Incredible Shrinking Man, and there's the extra features on that. Some early special effects I always remember watching on TV. This is a film from 1957, and it is spine number 1100. This next one, I think there was a DVD release of this before, but I thought I would include it because I'm such a big Stephen Sondheim fan. This is the original cast album for Company. Now, this is a documentary style from D.A. Pennebaker on the recording of the Cast album, and I just really am such a huge fan of Stephen Sondheim. I could listen to him talk for hours. It's great to see the cast working together, the intensity of recording this particular musical, and so I just really enjoy watching that whole process unfold, watching Stephen Sondheim at work, watching the actors at work. So this is a great release, highly recommend it. This is spine number 1090. So I think the Blu-ray release was done in 2021, but this may have had an earlier, I think this had an earlier DVD release, but I was waiting for the Blu-ray. I didn't have the DVD release of this, so I was really excited to pick it up. And it's one of my favorites from the year, for sure. This one also has an audio commentary from 2001 featuring director D.A. Pennebaker, actor Elaine Stritch, who played one of the roles in the Broadway show and, of course, was in this particular film, and Broadway producer and director Harold Prince. There's a new conversation with Sondheim. As I mentioned, I could listen to Sondheim talk for hours. Such a sad news that he passed away this year, but I'm so thankful that I was able to pick up a copy of this movie. One of my favorites from days gone by, I suppose, is Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which, again, I was looking forward to this release. I didn't have this movie previously, but it was one of my favorites growing up, and so I'm happy I picked that one up. This one is spine number 1075. And this is a film from 1982, and this has a television version of the film from the 80s, which I'm sure I saw. New conversation with Heckerling and Crow, moderated by Olivia Wilde. Reliving Our Fast Times at Ridgemont High, a 1999 documentary featuring interviews with cast and crew, audio discussion from 1982. So this is a release I was really, really looking forward to in 2021. Happy I picked it up. And again, great job from the Criterion Collection, as always. Yes, this is another one that was at the top of my list for sure. This is Warren Beatty in the Parallax View. Now, this is part of the Paranoia trilogy from Alan J. Pakula, and you can see that. So I was really looking forward to that. Of course, this is, along with Klute, one of my favorite movies from the 70s, which I've talked about, I'm sure, on the channel. Klute is an absolute masterpiece in my humble opinion, and so this one goes along with that. Of course, All the President's Men, also part of the Paranoia trilogy. So I was looking forward to this one just to complete that. It's a film from 1974, and this one is spine number 1064 from the Criterion Collection. And this one has interviews with the director Alan J. Pakula from 1974 and 1995. And of course, I love interviews with actors, directors. I really love to learn as much as I can about these films, films that have been, favorites, and in many cases for years. And so this was great to see on Blu-ray, and I'm happy I picked it up. One of my favorite releases from 2021 for sure. I may not have talked about this one before, but I'm a really big fan of Albert Brooks and his films and just his overall sense of humor. And this one came out this year too, Defending Your Life. And there's the back of that one. I have to say, I wasn't necessarily thrilled in the beginning with the artwork on the cover. I think it could have been maybe a little bit more creative, but this is spine number 1071. But I was looking at it this morning, and I really love this pamphlet-style visitor's guide to Judgment City in the beginning, if you know the film. And it's a very humorous, very interesting take on what happens after you die. And so I really like this one, and I'm a big fan of all the Albert Brooks films, Lost in America, Modern Romance, etc. Lost in America, of course, has a Criterion release as well, but I was happy to add this one to the collection. They could add any Albert Brooks film, and I'd be really pleased with it. So, Defending Your Life from the Criterion Collection. And finally, I can't tell you how much I was waiting for this release to come out. As you know from the channel, or as you may know from the channel, I did a series of videos on Andrei Tarkovsky, and I was waiting for this release, and I was so excited for this announcement. I think many YouTubers were as well, and this is the release of Mirror, which is just an amazing release from the Criterion Collection. Beautiful artwork, a digipack again. There's some of the special features there on the back. And I thought I would just read a little bit of the description of it, and because I think it's well stated. This is a subtly ravishing passage through the halls of time and memory. Andrei Tarkovsky's sublime reflection on 20th century Russian history is as much a poem composed in images or a hypnagogic hallucination as it is a work of cinema. And I mean, a lot of Tarkovsky's work is very dreamlike and lots of imagery, etc. And it's one of my favorite, he's one of my favorite all-time directors, I have to say. And so I've really enjoyed studying his work. I feel like I could study it for a lifetime. And as I mentioned, there's a series of videos on Tarkovsky where I talk about Mirror in some detail. And I'll probably link that video in the description below so you can watch that particular video. But this was great to see on Blu-ray. Many of these were not released on Blu-ray or had releases. I know Nostalgia, as an example, was released on Kino Lorber, which I have that copy of, and I think The Sacrifice as well. But this was great to see. Of course, Criterion has done a great job at releasing Tarkovsky films like Ivan's Childhood and Stalker and Solaris, but this one hadn't been released, and I was so excited to see it. So again, one of my absolute favorite releases of 2021 from the Criterion Collection. And those are 10 titles that are some of my favorites. I would love to continue the discussion or the dialogue in the discussion or in the comments section below, I should say. So let me know what some of your favorites are from 2021, or what some of your favorites are, or maybe just some of your favorites in general. You know, I'm hoping to continue collecting Criterion. It's one of my favorite labels. Of course, I love other labels as well: Kino Lorber, Warner Archive, Vinegar Syndrome also. And so I'm really trying to collect as many specialty labels as I can, but Criterion is certainly one of my favorites, as you can see from the channel. So those are some of my favorites from 2021. Thanks so much for watching today. I really do appreciate it. If you like this video, click on like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe. That would be awesome. There's lots of great things coming up in 2022. I sincerely hope that everyone is safe and well, and I'll talk to you soon.